Last time on Fright films.
Is this a Valentine for me?
Violets are blue. Roses are red. Don't talk about the movie or you'll get an axe to the head.
This time on Fright films.
Whoa. It's like I'm living in a world of pinks and greens and everything is so three-dimensional. It's like I'm seeing the world for the first time. Oh. Well, now that I've got proper vision back, I can actually talk about 3D movies. See, 3D movies have been around for a long time. They were actually hugely popular in the 1950s, only to die out and be resurrected in the 1980s and early 1990s, to then be hated by film audiences, forgotten about, and brought back in the 2000s to yet again become the most hated gimmick in the film industry currently. But if people hate 3D movies so much, why do they keep coming back? Why do we always forget about our disdain for 3D every single time? Well, there's a couple possible reasons for this. One, of course, is the nostalgia factor. 3D has gone just long enough for people to forget all the things they don't like about it, but remember all the things that they do. Another possible factor is the generational gap. Every time we bring 3D back, there's a new group of kids and teenagers who get to experience it for the first time. And another thing that could contribute to the rise and fall of 3D is advancements in technology. When we do bring 3D back, it's always improved in some way. But soon that new shiny coat of paint wears off and 3D becomes dull yet again. But most importantly, 3D can just be fun if done right. I mean, sure, of course, there's always going to be those films that are put in 3D in post-production, they turn out terrible, and that can be incredibly frustrating. But if a film is planned for 3D from the very beginning, it allows the filmmakers to sometimes create a more well-rounded experience. A 3D film, made to be a 3D film, can be more like a theme park attraction than just seeing a movie. That's why I think the best uses of 3D come from films that have fun with the effect. Sure, James Cameron can talk about 3D depth and how he thinks it adds immersion to his giant blue cat movie all he wants. But for my taste, give me a film where things pop out at me or stuff comes flying off the screen. I will never believe I'm in the world of Pandora when I put on a pair of 3D glasses, but I will have a blast at an over-the-top horror film that literally jumps out at me. And that's kind of the topic of today's episode, because it's about one of my favorite 3D film experiences ever. I'm Ryan Reed, and this is Fright Films. Hey, by the way, I got another Valentine. Let's see what this one says. This one says, I warned you once, I warned you twice. Don't talk about the movies, or I won't be nice. Seriously, the level of writing on these things is terrible. I mean, really? You couldn't come up with a better rhyming scheme than that? Try harder. Anyway, 2009 marked the return of Harry Warden to the big screen with a remake of My Bloody Valentine, this time titled My Bloody Valentine 3D. The film was produced by Lionsgate with a $14 million budget and it was directed by Patrick Lussier, who would later go on to direct Drive Angry, starring Nicolas Cage, and written by future collaborator Todd Farmer, who at the time was most known for writing Jason X. Not exactly his highest point, but that's okay, because the script for My Bloody Valentine 3D is a ton of fun. The plot of the film is pretty much the same, with a few minor differences. TJ has now become Tom, Axel is now the sheriff of the town isn't called Valentine's Bluff anymore, it's now called Harmony, and the ending of the film is slightly changed. There are a few minor things here and there, but overall the basic concept of the film remains the same. However, it does have a more tongue-in-cheek tone. See, Farmer and Lessier's film knows that it's a slasher movie, and it knows that it's a 3D slasher movie on top of that. So, of course, the gore is over the top, the 3D is ridiculous with eyeballs and blood flying off the screen, and the dialogue is campy in all the best ways. This film is ultimately an homage to 80s slasher movies, including the one that it's based off of, and in all of those ways, it succeeds. Now, the film does have some flaws. For example, the cinematography can be all over the place, and part of this can probably be attributed to shooting a 3D movie on early digital using a Red 1 camera. Digital filmmaking has come a long way since then, and so this early digital look can sometimes really show its age here. At one moment, the cinematography is gorgeous, with plenty of depth of field and striking visuals and lighting. But then in the next moment, it can look like a flat, lifeless CW TV show. Which I guess is fitting since our lead is played by Jensen Ackles. Man, he just cannot escape the TV world of Supernatural, can he? There are also some problems with character motivations and likability. See, the love triangle is back, but this time they try to make it much more clear who we as the audience are supposed to root for. Up until the end of the movie, when everything just kind of gets flipped on its head and it's all over the place, and so then it kind of falls apart and it doesn't work. Finally, the last issue I have with the film is in its rewatchability. When I saw this film in the theater, I had a blast. It was crazy, gory, 3D fun. But at home, the film just doesn't translate as well. Now, most DVD and Blu-ray copies of the film did come with a 3D transfer, but it was kind of your old-fashioned red and blue, or in this case pink and green, transfer that came with these cheap 3D glasses. And while it's still a fun way to watch the movie at home, it just kind of loses its impact because it doesn't have that same Real D technology transfer that the theater version did. Apparently they did make another version of the 3D Blu-ray that utilizes the full HD 3D Blu-ray technology. But unless you already had a 3D home entertainment system, this purchase probably wouldn't be worth it alone. But even with all of its issues, My Bloody Valentine 3D is still a fun throwback slasher movie. It doesn't reinvent the wheel by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a great way to spend an afternoon, and if you get a chance to watch it in theaters, definitely do yourself a favor and check it out if you're a horror movie fan. But that's going to do it for this episode. Until next time, I'm Ryan Reed. Go watch it. Whoa! Was that a pickaxe?
You're darn tootin' it was.
Who are you?
Well, most people call me Old Miner. On account of the fact that I'm an old miner.
I see. Well, Old Miner.
That ain't my given name, you old sassafras.
Okay. What's your given name?
Most people call me Old Miner.
Very glad this conversation's going nowhere. Look, do you want to tell me why you threw a pickaxe at me?
I told you not to watch the movies, but you done went and watched them anyway.
You wrote the Valentines.
You betcha. I tried to warn you.
Any particular reason why? I mean, what's your problem with the My Bloody Valentine films?
Don't like them. Give miners a bad name.
I don't think that was quite the point.
You want another pickaxe thrown at you?
No. Okay, look. If it'll get you out of my house, I'm sorry I watched the movies. Okay? Happy?
Well, apology accepted. Now, if you excuse me, I got a can of beans waiting for me back at my camp. Beans!
I've really got to call a locksmith. I'm Ryan Reed. Go watch a movie.